So now that we're jumping into services, we're going to highlight creating services and best practices. So it's important to be clear and concise with your services and your service descriptions. This allows you to set the scope of work for your services and charge more if the client requires more from you. It is definitely worth spending time initially to clearly outline your services, which in return is going to allow you to manage scope creep more easily. A great business model aligns your costs, invoicing, and payment collection with the delivery of value to your clients. So here on this screen is a framework that you can reference to help write out and create your descriptions. So first, deliverables. What exactly are you doing? So here you want to be very specific, use terminology that your clients will understand, avoid using technical jargon and internal acronyms wherever possible. Next up, time frame. How long will this service continue for, and when are the above deliverables going to be received by your client? So many of my customers also combine their billing to reduce their admin. So to help strategize and produce steady cash flow, for example, they'll bill potential quarterly services or even annual services as a monthly billing item, which in return also creates an easier payment schedule for your client. Next, we have limitations. So setting caps and limitations on your deliverables is very important in this case. So you need to ask yourself, are there any caps on your deliverables? What will you not be doing? If you're an accountant, how many employees are going to be included in that payroll service? If you deliver marketing services, how many ads per month are going to be included within that scope? You can also consider a tiered approach if your services are easily scalable, but just remember that these aren't hard and fast rules, just you can treat them as a guideline and agree to adjust the pricing if limits are consistently being exceeded. And then finally, we have third-party apps and vendors. So are there any third-party apps or programs that your client will interact with and see? If so, who's paying for it? So a good example is QuickBooks. You can state something along the lines of, we will use QuickBooks as your general ledger and your subscription is included in the price of your package, or we'll use Xero or QuickBooks at X price per month, and it's a separate software fee for our services. And then, of course, if this doesn't apply to you, then you do not need to mention it. Something else to think about when creating your services and adding them to a proposal is billing and price types. In Ignition, you have flexible billing options to fit your services need. So you can have the ability to choose when to start the billing and customize the cadence of that billing item. Another way to add services into Ignition is importing them directly from QuickBooks or Xero if connected, so similar to what Karen just highlighted. So it's definitely useful whether you are still setting up your Ignition account or just fine-tuning your Ignition services. So if you're a QBO or Xero Pro, there's probably a good chance that you might want to have your services in Ignition match nicely in your connected ledger. So with our new import tool, you can bring those services into Ignition super quickly and be ready to add that on to a proposal. But if you do have services in your ledger that maybe don't have a service description, not to worry, because we have our new AI tool. So Ignition can help you quickly create professional, compelling service descriptions. I personally love this feature. This will not only save you time, it will also put you and your clients on the same page right from the start. We're going to use this tool in just a few minutes together. For now, we're going to pop into our Services tab. And when you're popping into your Service tab, if this is one of your first times doing so, you'll have pre-uploaded services in your account. So these are pre-uploaded by Ignition. You're more than welcome to use them. There's services in here, so you're not having to start from scratch every single time or recreating the wheel. So I always suggest just prioritize those services that you offer. I don't recommend sifting through every last one. You can always export. So you can always export pull a CSV file outside of Ignition, it'll download to your email, and then you can actually come in and clean up this library, maybe delete services that you don't offer. But let's go ahead and we will open up the general advisory. So a couple things to just call out on this page here. So first up, we have service name. So this is going to show on the proposal as well as on the invoice. And then below we have your service description. So this is going to be your scope of work, what is and isn't included. And then lastly, your price. So feel free to enter in your default pricing. Your pricing can change depending on the client. Same thing goes for your service description. That can also be manipulated during the time of proposal creation if necessary. And then below here, we have our service terms. So service terms are additional terms that are linked to specific services. Totally optional, but if there is something listed here, it will be added into your engagement letter dynamically, and they'll appear at the bottom of your terms template. And then finally, we can map this service directly to our service line item in QBO. So right now, the default, we had it set originally to services, but if you select this dropdown, we can map this to general advisory in QuickBooks, and just be sure to save your changes. What you can also do is import your services from your connected ledger. So Karen just connected the QuickBooks account. So I have this banner up at the top, import services. I'm going to click this, and together we can import our individual tax return. It's going to get flagged that it's missing a service description, which is great because now I'm going to leverage our AI tool. I'm going to click into view services just to call out the ones that don't have the service description. And then based off of that service name, I'm going to go ahead and suggest description. This is going to recognize that I'm in Canada, I'm in Toronto, and that I'm in the professional services industry, and it'll run a description. I can also refine it a little bit further so I can elaborate, shorten, simplify. But I'm pretty happy with this. I can use this, paste it right into this box. I can still make any edits as well. Something else I'm also going to quickly paste in is going to be our service terms. So I'm going to add in a couple additional service terms so that it dynamically pulls into my engagement letter. And then finally, I have this map to my individual tax return because we imported it directly from QuickBooks. So I'm going to go ahead and save. Now, if you don't have that banner up at the top, totally okay. You can always still import and then click your ledger to pull up that service list from QBO.